We are going to try and find one of the rarest mammals in the world. There are only 250 individuals left in the wild. They are only found in the rainforest here in northeastern Madagascar. It's a bit tricky to find them here. The terrain is a bit difficult, so we'll see what we can do.
We took this motorized vehicle called a tuk-tuk for about an hour. We arrived at Angkumpi. It's a big spot where boats come and go. We collected some snacks and then got ready to board our boat, which is going to be about 3.5 hours upstream. This is my guide, Ursula.
This is Antena Balana River, and this is the limit of the two species of lemur. On this side is the black and white ruffed lemur, on this side is the red ruffed lemur.
We took our trip in December, so we had plenty of lychees to hold us over for the boat ride. It was still the beginning of rainy season, so the guys had to get out and pull the boat at some point because the river levels were low. And to entertain myself, I did some drawing in my sketchbook. We arrived at the village of Andaparati, where we ate lunch and we met with our porters before heading off on our hike to the mountain. The first hour of our hike was through the village and the rice fields, and we were directly under the sun.
Are we going up there?
Then we had to do a river crossing by canoe.
Okay. Do I just get in the water? Okay. Niala and I both have.
And then after that, we started to head uphill into the forest. I was really grateful to get out of the sun and be under the shade of the trees. I sunburned so easily.
Yeah, it feels good here.
It's hot.
We just walked about an hour through rice paddy fields. It was pretty flat, and then we started going up, 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 up.
I'm not used to hiking in the mountains anymore.
On the top is 600 meter high.
Oh, really?
We have time. So anyway, when we are back, we don't do a walk, we take a rest, eat, sleep, and tomorrow morning.
The higher we hiked, the cooler the temperatures got, and we saw our first lemur sighting. This was a group of female white-fronted brown lemurs. We didn't see any males, but there were 5 females here. Once we were almost at the end of our hike, we took a little pit stop and enjoyed the forest here.
Matanzaka?
Eventually, our porters caught back up to us. They were heading back down. After 2 hours, we made it to Simpona Eco Lodge. These are the groups of Sifakas that live around the campsite. That is my bedroom right there. Let's go check it out.
There's a nice, beautiful stream. Nice. I get my own chair and table. This place has such a nice bed.
It even came with a mosquito net. After a nice shower, I enjoyed the view around my cabin and even spotted this beautiful kingfisher. The next morning, I got woken up at 5:30 a.m. The guides had said that they had already spotted the Sifakas and that they were nearby, so we headed out. I didn't even bring water. Little did I know it was going to be a crazy hike off the trails in the mountains. Luckily, we spotted the Sifakas. Seeing them is one thing, getting good shots of them is another. The lighting wasn't too great, it was super early. Eventually, we lost track of them, and I suggested we head back for some coffee and breakfast.
My favorite thing to do now is to put a fresh piece of vanilla into my coffee in the mornings. Just split it open like that, and then boop, a little bit of cream. It's vanilla coffee.
At 10:30 a.m., our guides said that they had found the Sifakas again, and luckily it was on a much easier trail, and I knew what to expect more. Silky Sifakas are only found in the mountainous rainforests of northeastern Madagascar. Most of their population can be found in Marjeji National Park, but there are at least 2 family groups here in Makira Natural Park. Makira is the largest protected area in Madagascar with over 300,000 square hectares of rainforest. It's home to 18 species of lemurs and thousands more species of plants and animals. Silkies are arboreal primates living most of their lives high up in the trees. They primarily eat leaves and seeds, but also they eat fruits, flowers, and occasionally soil. Their diet consists of more than 100 types of endemic trees and plants. Females give birth to an offspring every other year, which makes every infant precious to the survival of its species. All Sifakas are born with black skin, and then they lose pigmentation to various degrees as they age. That's why some individuals have more pink on their faces than others. They move through the trees using vertical leaping locomotion, allowing them to jump up to 20 feet from tree to tree. It's quite hard to keep up with them from the ground. I was impressed by our local guides. They were dedicated and ethical in their wildlife tracking practices. Back at camp, the kitchen staff always served us tasty meals, and their service was outstanding. Ursula was the one who arranged all the food to be hiked in. We even ate the sweetest, most delicious pineapples ever, almost after every meal. It was a hot and humid day, and I really wanted to go for a swim, so I wandered along a trail upstream. There's nothing like soaking in fresh, cold water after a big hike on a hot summer day.
Oh, it feels so good. The sunset moth is just like right there. It looks like it's gonna rain today. I don't know. It's raining! Woo! The roof is leaking a little bit.
The next morning, we took our time to enjoy the wildlife around the campsite. This place is nicknamed the epicenter for biodiversity, and for good reason. We saw so many species without having to trek far. Our local guides went ahead and scouted for Sifakas, but there were no signs of them this morning. I spent my free time that day painting stick insects and other details around the camp that caught my attention. At dusk, we found a bamboo lemur feasting just outside my cabin. We went exploring with our headlamps. It was a quiet night in terms of wildlife sightings, but we saw and heard lots of frogs, and we even found a pair of sleeping leaf-litter chameleons. On our final day, I woke up to the sound of birds and started filming a pair of weavers building a nest outside my cabin. I felt so good from being able to dedicate a series of full days observing nature and being fully present in it. Our guides spotted the Silky Sifakas again, but this time passing right through camp. I feel so incredibly lucky to have seen these critically endangered animals during my short stay here in this magical place called Makira.
The Silky Sifakas face huge threats from hunting and habitat destruction to climate change. They truly need the native trees to survive. Their habitat is constantly under threat of being slashed and burned for agriculture. Mining and vanilla plantations also pose a threat to their existence. Although the fight to save this species is an uphill battle, seeing them here and directly working with the local community gives me hope for their survival.
Thank you for joining me on this journey. See you next time.